MCJ Sports.
Hey there, guys, and welcome to MCJ Sports as we do our NBA season preview for 2018-19.
Let's get it.
Wow, that's going to age well. Oh, my gosh. Well, I'm joined by Easton Nelson.
What's up, guys?
You're an embarrassment. Well, today we're going to be doing our predictions for the Western and Eastern Conference standings, all the NBA awards, and finalists.
And before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone to please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. All right, let's get on.
Western Conference. Let's start at 1.
Start at 1.
Yeah, because it's more climactic
Okay.
to do
All
it
right.
from 1, especially in the West.
True. At number 1, I have the Rockets again. Like last year, the Warriors don't try in the regular season, and the Rockets do. So I think the Rockets will be their number 1, even though with the loss of their defense with Ariza. They still have Tucker, so I think they're still going to be a really good team. And who do you have at number 1?
I have the same. I also the same logic. So I have the Rockets at 1. CP3 and James Harden are going to continue to do their thing.
Agreed. At number 2, the Warriors. They have 5 All-Stars. Pains me to say all this, but what else do we need to say? 5 All-Stars. There we go.
Well, from last season, they have more, honestly, if you count like
It depends
Iguodala.
Depends when DeMarcus Cousins comes back too.
Yeah, but they don't need him,
That's
honestly.
true.
I know they lost JaVale and Zaza, but I mean that really doesn't change things. Even though they don't have a big, but whenever they get him back, Christmas, All-Star break, even the start of the postseason, honestly, it doesn't matter. He's just icing on top of the cake for a Warriors team that is really phenomenal. One of the
Yes.
best we've ever seen. So I have them at 2.
Agreed. I think this is where we'll start to shake up a little bit. At number 3, I have the Thunder.
What a surprise.
Surprised I don't have them number 2 or number 1. But at number 3, I have the Thunder. Westbrook, Paul George, Steven Adams, Dennis Schroeder, who has looked amazing in preseason. Just going to throw that out there. He's going to be a great piece off the bench and even starting in the starting lineup with all the pieces they have there. And the bench is much improved from last year. As, like I said, they have Dennis Schroeder. Nerlens Noel is a solid center in the NBA. Not a great, but not a bad center. Athletic. And then they still have Patterson, Felton, and they have a few new younger guys in Timothy Luwawu Cabarrot, however you say his name, and Hamidou Diallo. So I have him number 3.
Never tell me that Hamidou Diallo is ever going to be good, okay?
Have you seen preseason? Have you seen preseason?
Guys, I've had to listen to this all summer.
Have you seen
all
preseason?
fall. I don't want to hear it.
No.
My number
Listen.
My number 3 is the new San Antonio Spurs of the Western
Oh,
Conference,
okay.
the Utah Jazz.
Oh,
Honestly, Quinn Snyder could have won Coach of the Year like 3 years in a row. It just kind of depends. It's unfortunate they lost Gordon Hayward, but they just keep replenishing. Rudy Gobert is tremendous, and they'll just kind of plug and play. Of course, Donovan Mitchell is going to be an all-star for the next decade, if not more. So they're set, and they're going to keep rolling and keep getting better. So who do you have it for?
At 4, I have the Jazz. Basically for the same reason you said. But another thing to add in, watch out for Grayson Allen. He's looked really solid. And I know it's preseason, and I know I'm hyping up Hamidou Diallo, but Grayson Allen's looked really good in preseason, and he could be a key piece coming off that bench for scoring because their bench struggled with the scoring last year because, I mean, Mitchell was literally all the – he was their ISO player to score. So, Allen, watch out for him.
Yeah, and so we just kind of switched around 3 and 4. I have the Thunder at 4. I just think the Jazz are the better overall team. Now, the Thunder have the better individual players, but as we saw last year, they kind of struggled to work together. So you can't just
Because
blame
it's Melo.
You can't
Of
blame
course.
everything on Melo.
I can.
Okay, so, Russ is still Russ. Paul George is a tremendous number 2 option. And as you said, they have a lot of young options. I think 4 is a
Hamidou Diallo?
reasonable spot for them. So who do you have at 5?
At 5, I have the Nuggets. They had a really good offseason, to be honest. I mean, they re-signed Barton. They extended Jokic. They got Isaiah Thomas, who I know he wasn't that good last year, but he's still a solid scorer in the NBA, and he's not going to be like he was in Boston. But if he comes off of the 6-man, I think he'll definitely be in the 6-man of the year, and their bench is pretty solid as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, the Nuggets are just one of those teams where it's when are they finally gonna pop? We've been talking about them for years. It's like, ooh, could they be a new contender in the West?
Mhm.
And we just haven't seen them pop yet. I do agree with you. We'll probably see a big improvement this season. But at number 5, I have the Lakers. I'm not super confident in this. I'm just riding on like
Lonzo, he's a goat.
sure. Rajon Rondo,
Lonzo and
LeBron,
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram.
He's better than
Lonzo.
Jaylen Brown. Shout out
We'll
Matthew.
no. Jaylen Brown is better than Brandon Ingram.
Well, no, we're not talking
Save
about
it
this right
for
now.
another time,
Yeah.
as we always say. Yeah, Lakers at 5. Extremely not confident at all.
Well, at number 6, I have a team that I didn't have in the playoffs originally, but now that I think about it, I think they will. I have the Trailblazers. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, one of the best backcourts in the NBA. They both are amazing scorers, but they struggle defensively. The whole team isn't that good defensively, and their bench is questionable. But I think their starting lineup should be enough to get them there to the playoffs. So I have them at 6.
At 6, I have the Nuggets. For all the reasons you said, I think they're finally going to pop this season. And honestly, if they really hit on all cylinders, get firing on all cylinders, they could be a lot higher than 6. But this is a moderate estimate. I don't know how well Barton and Jokic will blend together. We'll see if Millsap being back will help them. But as you
Because
said,
he was
the
out for most of
addition-
the year.
the addition of Isaiah Thomas and getting Paul Millsap for a full year,
Murray
I
and
think
Harris
that could really change
developing.
them. And don't forget Michael Porter Jr. That could be a really key
Yeah,
addition.
if he
looking back.
plays. this
If
year.
he plays, but
Which
it could
doesn't
be a
sound
key
like it.
addition. So who do you have at 7?
I have at 7. I have a team that we don't know if this will be the outlook of the team at the end of the year, which is
Or even next week, or even
Or
when this
in the
is
hour.
released,
in the
or
hour.
in an hour.
But I have the Timberwolves on the sole fact that Jimmy Butler's still on the team and is planning on playing with the team this regular season, as he's come out and said. But can we talk about that for a second? Jimmy Butler planned the whole thing perfectly. He just he mind-fooled all of us.
Mindful,
Mindful.
yeah. All right. Well, I
But-
mean, he played it so well psychologically.
He had an
That-
interview
that
an
little
hour
ESPN
after. The,
article he had, or that interview he had with Rachel Nichols.
it was an hour after the practice. Tell me
Yeah.
he didn't have that set up.
But he somehow, by doing that, still maintained like the moral high ground, because we all know he's the hardest worker.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the most intense. You don't think Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins are out working this guy, out defending this guy?
He said
out-
Andrew Wiggins the best or the most God-gifted talent.
Yeah,
he sucks.
well, he was just saying that.
I know.
He was just saying that. He was doing the politically right thing because he did
To
kind
make
of
him
back
look like a
himself
good
into
guy.
a corner by doing this interview. But he played it so well. He was like a politician in that interview. Said all the right things, played all the right cards, even kind of like joked about Tibbs liking what he's doing, kind of
Playing
stirring
him
the
40
pot.
minutes a game. Or...
I don't know.
All right, so, well, after that, who do you have at number 7?
Okay. This is purely based on coaching. I have the Spurs at 7. Just like the Lakers at 5, I'm really not confident in this because there are a lot more talented teams in the West, like the Pelicans and the Trailblazers, that I could put above this team. But and even though they lost DeJounte Murray, they still have DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge, potential All-Stars in the West, although I don't think either will be this season. But I
For
think
who?
that
You don't think?
I don't think
DeRozan?
DeRozan or Aldridge
Really?
will be All-Stars. Well, you just start looking at all the
That's
guys in the
true.
West. You can only have 12,
I think
which
DeRozan
is
will be,
another
but
thing
not
we should talk
Aldridge.
about eventually. Why do you not have 16 spots on a
Yes.
roster when you have 15 spots on a regular team roster?
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, Spurs at 7. Greg Popovich.
Calm down, Marco.
It's okay.
All right, at number 8, I hate to do this because this is my Nostradamus. I have the Lakers. I know I said they're not making the playoffs, but like I'm not confident in this either because it was either the Lakers or the Spurs for me. But the Spurs losing DeJounte Murray is a key missing piece for me because who's gonna be the defender? Rudy Gay, DeMar DeRozan, Patty Mills. I mean,
Don't trash on Patty Mills.
come on. Patty Mills is a good 3-point
Whatever. Yeah.
shooter. But is he a defender? Absolutely not. Who's going to defend? Nobody. Pau Gasol is...
DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan will be
The
improved
system.
defensively.
The system will
Exactly.
defend.
But Pau Gasol is
So
so
old.
bad. He not
So
bad.
old.
He's old and he looks like Dirk Nowitzki running on the court. It looks like it hurts every step he takes.
It's like a
So,
poor man's Dirk.
but
Honestly, that's what.
going
he
back
is.
to my pick, the Lakers. Obviously, LeBron James. I know this. I'm just like going back on everything I'm saying on the Nostradamus. But I mean, LeBron is gonna take your team to the playoffs. Pretty much whoever is on his team. But being in the
Wow.
West, it's gonna be,
revisionist history.
I'm sticking with my Nostradamus, and I'm hoping it's gonna be right. But I'm really hesitant on it now. But Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram, watch out for most improved player. But yeah. Who do you have at number 8?
So at number 8, and this is tenuous, of course, as you said with your 7th. I have the Timberwolves for all the reasons you said, and it is a really interesting situation that we could maybe go in depth more in the coming weeks if we learn more information. But for right now, before we move to the East, say Jimmy Butler gets traded, likely to the East. What team do you replace the Timberwolves as the new playoff team? So if
think I'll
Jimmy
move-
Butler gets traded, they're out of the playoffs. Who do you have in?
I think I moved the Lakers down to 7. Even worse for me. And then probably the Spurs at 8 because I still think DeRozan and Aldridge can get it done together if they work right. But the Pelicans are also in that discussion, and there's another team I'm forgetting. I can't remember, but those are the 3 teams that I would put at 8.
So replacing the Timberwolves, I would have either the Pelicans or the Trailblazers. Those are really the 2 clear-cut teams. Maybe if the Mavs really
That's who I was thinking of.
meld together with Doncic and
Dennis Smith
Dennis Smith
and DeAndre
Jr.
Jordan.
uh,
Harrison Barnes.
and Dirk Nowitzki.
They look like a solid team on paper.
Yeah, they're
I'm
a
not
solid
even gonna lie.
team. Probably 10th in the
Yeah.
West, but you never know. So probably the Pelicans or the Trailblazers. Don't count out the Mavs. So let's move on to the Eastern Conference. So
Number 1 again?
yeah, let's go from 1.
All right, I have the Celtics at number 1. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying it's a runaway for the Celtics in the East, but the Sixers, I think they could challenge them in the Eastern Conference Finals if they play each other there. But, I mean, the Celtics obviously have, other than the Warriors, they probably have the best starting 5, and their bench is super deep. Probably the deepest bench in the
Yeah,
NBA. So
really
and
good.
a top 2 coach in the NBA. So, I mean, they all mesh together perfectly, and it's hard to beat them.
You said a lot of it. I think this team, they won 53 games last year, I think. They're going to win a lot of games.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot. I think this team could win, I'll say 66 games right now. 66-16 is going to be their record. They're going to be mind-bogglingly good. Think about the progress those young players made, and then you're adding Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving, 2 all-star level players for sure in the East All-Stars. If not Kyrie Irving in the conversation for top 3, and even Gordon Hayward, a top 10 player in the East, they're going to be
East.
unstoppable.
Okay.
I think you know what? I think by the end of this season, Jason Tatum is going to be a top 10 player in the East. I think that's not a stretch,
I could see it, yeah.
especially if you would prefer him over Gordon Hayward.
I would.
Yeah. So moving on to number 2, who do you have at 2 in the East?
The 76ers. I think these are the 2 teams, and then there's like a little bit of a drop-off because, I mean, the 76ers are young, trust the process. Joel Embiid could be in the MVP conversation this year if he's healthy. And I know Ben Simmons doesn't shoot, all the memes out there that he can't shoot a 3 but he's unstoppable. He's a young LeBron. He's got the body of LeBron. Doesn't have the shot of LeBron yet, but hopefully he can develop one. And they also have a very deep bench, as just like the Celtics, but not as good, obviously. So I have him at number 2.
So we have a difference of opinion here. I have the Raptors at 2 just because they're a really good regular season team.
Yeah.
I can't fathom why they fired Dwayne Casey after he won
so dumb.
Coach of
Nick
the Year
Nurse is not
nonetheless.
I'm telling you, he's not going to be good.
But I think with the Kawhi-led Raptors, I think they'll be a better regular season team. And it's strange to phrase it this way, but I think the 76ers will have a sophomore slump of being a good team.
Really?
So last year was their first year of being out of the basement. I think they're going to struggle a little bit this year because teams will be more familiar with them and their style.
Markelle Fultz has looked really good.
He has. So that's why my next point, I have Philadelphia at 3. really close third place.
Mhm.
I just think Toronto will prioritize the regular season a bit more. And as we said, those young players, Ben Simmons is still growing. He was very turnover prone. Joel
Mhm.
Embiid is injury prone. Markel Fultz is still very unproven.
Doesn't have a jump shot yet.
And they
Kinda.
still have those solid role
JJ
players.
Redick.
JJ Redick
Covington.
and Dario Saric and Covington, who are solid. But I just have them as a very close third. Who do you have at 3?
At 3 are the Pacers. I love this team. I mean, Victor Oladipo is definitely a top 5 shooting guard now, as he showed last year. The addition of Tyreek Evans, if they play him the right way and they play him at point guard, I think he's going to fit him perfectly. But if they try and put him at small forward like the Pelicans did, he's not going to be as good. But just this team fits perfectly. Nate McMillan is an underrated coach. He's a really solid coach. And their bench, just like the top 2 teams above them, is pretty deep. They have Corey Joseph, Domantas Sabonis, Aaron Holiday, and some others I'm forgetting. They don't have Lance Stevenson anymore, sadly. But
That's just unfortunate. Yeah, he's playing with LeBron in LA.
Yeah.
That's
And did you
another
say your
reason
number
they
4
make the
team?
playoffs. No, I said my number 3 was Philly. At 4, I have Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee and Indiana are that second tier of the East, in my opinion anyway. I just have Milwaukee very closely over Indiana, just based on the fact that Milwaukee clearly has the best player. If you were to play them in a series or just compare them, Giannis is much better than Victor Oladipo, and I think that just goes a long way for me in
Mhm.
deciding who's better between them.
Well, I have the Raptors at number 4. I hate the Dwayne Casey fire. Like, it makes no sense. He had a great system for the team he had around him, and with Kawhi, we haven't seen him. Well, I guess preseason, but he hasn't played him basically 2 years almost. Not 2 years, but a year, and I just don't see them fitting well together with Nick Nurse's system. I know they have a solid bench. They're always good in the regular season. But to me, there's just a different feeling to this team, and I don't think they'll be a top 3 team in the East this year.
I mean, you could definitely be right, but I think they have a lot of those young guys that they've drafted on the bench, and I think those guys will continue to get better and they'll step up. Of course, my disdain for Kyle Lowry. I think he's garbage. I think he's trash. I think he's a waste of talent, and he's a waste of an all-star spot. It's disgraceful. If you're going to
I think we both agree on
if you're going to meld the teams together, why not just take the 30 best players?
I think
that's,
everybody that's not a Raptors fan agrees on this, that
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry should not be an all-star.
it's kind of a disgrace. Anyway, so yeah.
Number
Anyway,
5.
so I have the Pacers at 5, as I kind of alluded to previously. They're a really solid team. I know you favor them, and I think you're right. Miles Turner and Victor Oladipo are a solid pairing. And as you said, they have a lot of awesome bench pieces or rotational pieces in Sabonis and Tyreek Evans and many other guys. So at 6, I have the Miami Heat, who is just they don't have
Whoa.
anyone.
Okay.
They're just a bunch of really decent, like C plus B minus players and a great system of Eric Spoelstra's, and they just win enough to make the playoffs. That's all they're
Mhm.
ever going to be if they don't trade for Jimmy Butler or Kemba Walker or someone good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, at number 5, I have the Wizards. To me, the addition of Dwight Howard, I know he's a locker room cancer, I guess we could say. And Austin Rivers is a solid piece. I mean, he's
Talk about locker room cancer.
two of them,
That's bad.
and
for
John
you.
Wall, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
that team's messy.
yeah, John Wall, Bradley
Talented, but
Beal.
messy.
Yeah, John Wall, Bradley Beal, both All Stars from last year. Bradley Beal should make another one in the East now, but Otto Porter, very underrated. And the Dwight Howard signing, I like a lot because Marcin Gortat is not the center that they need around. They need around John Wall. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of lobs on that team. Dwight Howard's gonna
Lob
score.
City 2.0.
Yeah, Dwight Howard's gonna. I think Dwight Howard could score 15 points a game along with Bradley Beal and John Wall, and I think this team's kind of slept on a little bit. So I have them at number 5, and at number 6 I have the Milwaukee Bucks. I love Middleton. I think Middleton's the most underrated player in the NBA. He does not miss a shot. Every single time I see him take a shot, it goes in.
It's like Sean
It's
Livingston
insane.
from mid range or Curry from deep.
Don't
It's
even get me started
crazy.
on Sean Livingston. That guy is just so annoying. Because how can you shoot a mid range perfectly, but not shoot a single three and make it? It doesn't make any sense.
Practice, man. I'm talking about practice.
If Andre Drummond is shooting threes freely, if Andre Drummond is shooting threes freely in preseason, Sean
Stop.
Livingston should be able to
Andre
shoot a
Drummond
three.
will not shoot threes in the regular season.
You did not see that report?
Yeah, but but that's like it's in
Dwayne
the preseason.
Casey.
It's in practice.
No.
He's not going to shoot threes in real games.
Dwayne
People will
Casey.
guard him in the flow of play. He's not going to have time to set that 7-second mechanic and shot off. Quit being ridiculous.
Dwayne Casey said he has the green light from three this
no,
year.
okay, but
That's all I gotta say.
green light doesn't mean he's gonna.
He's gonna
make
do it
them.
sometime.
No, he's not.
Yes, he
It's
will.
a waste of time.
All right.
Talking about waste of times, let's talk about a team that is just wasting away careers of talented players. The number 7, I have the Washington Wizards. It's disgraceful. They cannot meld together
Scott
at
Brooks.
all. Scott Brooks. Ugh,
I
I
love
feel
him.
bad for him. He's like, honestly, like for Washington, he's like a babysitter for like a family.
He's kind of lost
like
control
4
of
or
him a little
5.
bit.
Yeah, he's the babysitter that's lost control and needs to like call the parents. But in this case, there's no parents to call because
The
he's the
parents are in a
parent.
different
He's the
country.
coach or something like that to that effect. He just jettisoned one of the kids. Like Marcin Gortat is just gone. That's how they're gonna deal with their problems
He's
now.
missing. I mean,
Yeah, they're a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be decent, but they're a mess. 7 for the Wizards. Who do you have at 8?
we'll have to go to 7
Oh,
first.
7, sorry.
At 7, I have the Pistons. And I've always wanted Blake Griffin to do well because I've always liked Blake Griffin even coming out of college. And do you think is Blake Griffin the best player on the Pistons, or do you think Andre Drummond? Who do you choose?
Andre Drummond. He's
Really?
a much better rebounder. He's a good
Oh.
big man.
Well, yeah.
He's
I
a
mean, Andre
decent
Drummond. That's
defender.
all he can do is rebound and play defense. I don't know.
Yeah, because he can't shoot threes. You just admitted
I'm
it.
not saying he can't. Okay, I'm
Freudian
saying he has the
slip.
green light. Did I say he's gonna make them?
That's what I've been saying.
Okay.
Don't be ridiculous.
He has the green light.
Just because someone has that doesn't make
If there's a green light in the street, are you gonna go? Yes.
yeah, but not if
So
there's
if he has-
traffic still
if he-
flying across the intersection.
Who's
I'm
gonna
not just
guard
gonna
Andre
slam on
Drummond
the
from
gas
3?
and drive into traffic?
Who's gonna
No.
guard Andre Drummond from 3? Nobody.
Anyone.
No. Nobody's
Put a
gonna be
hand
right
in
there.
his face. His 7-second mechanic and wind up is
Do you
not
want to make
gonna
a bet
work.
this year?
He's
I'll
garbage.
bet you Andre Drummond makes at least 5 threes this year.
5 threes. Come on, jack that up.
That's
If you say he's got the green light to shoot threes, come on, jack up that number. I'll take that bet. Say okay, Andre Drummond makes 25.
Okay, that's unrealistic though.
Fine, 15 and a
That's
half.
unrealistic too.
15
I'm
and a
not
half.
saying Andre Drummond's gonna shoot a 3 every single game. I'm saying if he is wide open, Dwayne
Fine,
Casey's
that's
not gonna care.
different. That's
That's what I'm
different, I
saying.
think.
So I'm saying if he gets that ball at the top of the key, there's somebody all the way down in the post, nobody around him. He's gonna shoot it and he's gonna make it.
At number 8, I have the Detroit Pistons. No comment.
You don't want to keep going? Andre Drummond. Okay.
I don't want to talk about this.
At number 8, I
anymore.
have the Heat. Like you said, C plus B players. Hassan Whiteside has kind of fallen off, to be honest.
Waste of money.
Waste of money. Deion Waiters, I wish he was back to what he was a couple years ago before he got hurt. Again, more waste of money. James Johnson and Goran Dragic and Josh Richardson. Josh Richardson might be the best player on their team. I don't know.
He's
I think
the best player per how much they've paid him proportionally.
he's really solid. He
Yeah,
kind of like
he's
Chris
really
Middleton. He makes a lot of shots.
The problem is they're paying a bunch of like C plus players like $10 to $12 million a year. They have no one on max, but everyone is just like average.
And going
They're
back
paying him
to
too much.
Hassan Whiteside, we might see Bam Adebayo take over his starting role this year.
I wouldn't bet against that.
Yeah.
So with the Eastern Conference complete, let's move on to our NBA awards. Easton, who do you have for Rookie of the Year?
Nobody has this pick. Marvin Bagley.
I have that pick.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, I guess somebody else has it. Every time I talk about Marvin Bagley winning Rookie of the Year, somebody says, "Are you serious?"
Well,
Like-
the problem is he's not on a team that will get a lot of attention. The
Mhm.
Kings are at most going to win 25 games, but if he's their leading scorer and leading rebounder and he puts up solid performances against playoff caliber,
Mhm.
if not championship caliber teams, he will get the attention of the voters, and I think he could probably win it.
Yeah, I mean, he has a shot. Not very consistent, but he can make it. And he's really lengthy, and he has a lot of potential defensively. Although he hasn't really shown that he can play defense that well, I think he can turn into a solid defender. Plus, like you said, being on a bad team, nobody really knows who's the primary scorer on the team. I'd say De'Aaron Fox, but Bagley I think could be this year. And watch out for Harry Giles. It's gonna be Ben Simmons' year, maybe.
I don't know about that.
Have you seen him in preseason?
No, I don't watch the
Oh.
preseason.
He scored
That's a
like
waste of
19
time.
points, and
Oh, wow.
he scored.
Wow, in the preseason? Wow. Oh,
Yes, just wait.
impressive. Okay.
He might be NBA second team rookie year.
Are you
Rookie second team.
okay? Whatever. Sixth man of the year. Who do you have?
I actually want to see who you have first, so I can debate about this.
I don't know where he plays. I don't even know if he's. I assume he's in the league still.
Lou Will,
Yeah, Lou. I don't care. I'm gonna
The
put him in
Clippers.
there. Why not?
Clippers.
I don't. Yeah,
So
fine.
right now he is, at least until he gets traded in a couple weeks.
Oh,
It seems like
yeah.
he's played for every single team.
I mean, whoever. I think the guy who's played
Nate
for the most
Robinson,
teams
right?
played for like what 11 teams.
Was it
Something
Nate
like that.
Robinson? I'm pretty sure.
I
Nate
don't
Robinson.
think so. I think
Really?
he's the highest profile player to play for a lot of teams. I think
Mm.
he played for like 7 or 8. But there's a guy that's probably been traded around, played on a lot more. I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Google it.
So you're just saying Lou Will because he's always like
Yeah,
a
why
shoe
not?
in for it.
Yeah.
Alright.
He's a 6 man, but he plays 36 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, is he really?
I don't know.
He's a starter.
Your shot.
I have Dennis Schroeder. You saw this coming, didn't you? I mean, come on. Who else is a better backup point guard in the NBA than Dennis Schroeder right now?
Terry
No.
Rozier.
Nope.
Yes, better
No,
than Dennis Schroeder.
Definitely not.
Lonzo
definitely.
Ball is better than Dennis Schroeder.
Lonzo Ball is going to be starting.
Then Rajon Rondo is better
Ron-
than Dennis Schroeder.
Definitely not.
Let's see. Well, like I think
Give me
if Doncic
give me
is
a person that
backup,
scores.
he's better than Dennis Schroeder. Let's see.
Doncic.
Yeah. TJ McConnell.
Oh, come
No,
on.
okay,
You're being
that
ridiculous.
was a stretch. That was a stretch. I don't know. Okay, Dennis Schroeder's decent, but
He's going to be
not
a
nearly going to get the minutes he needs and the points he needs.
Yes, he's going to be playing
Isaiah
starters
Thomas
minutes.
has a better chance at winning
No,
sixth man.
No.
As the 7th man in Denver.
No.
That's
Then
how
I'm-
unrealistic
This
that
is the most confident pick I have is Dennis Schroeder.
Really?
6 man. Yes.
You're delusional.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it happen. I want
Yeah,
to bet you on
hilarious.
this right
Okay.
now. $10.
Well, what do I get out of it? No,
I
no.
pay you
We'll
$10.
do this,
You pay me $10.
we'll do this off the air.
Okay.
We'll come up with some odds. Most improved player. Go.
Miles Turner,
I like that pick. I like it a lot. Do you know why?
because you have it too.
Because it's my pick
Is
too.
it? Did you change that now that I told you this?
No, actually, no.
Really?
I listen. I
When we were
think
talking off air.
the Pacers, honestly. I know I didn't have them as high as you had them. I had them at 5. You had them at 3. But they're a legitimate threat come playoff
Mhm.
time. Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner, although Miles Turner didn't do a lot, they almost, beat the
LeBron.
Cavs in the first round. If Miles Turner shows up in that series, they win that series.
And what I was saying to you off air before I said let's just talk about it on here. Miles Turner worked out with the same trainer and did the same workouts that Victor Oladipo did last year, and he's completely reformed his body. Miles Turner had no 6-pack. Now he does. Victor Oladipo the year before didn't either, and now he does.
Victor Oladipo won Most Improved Player, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if Miles Turner wins it, would that be the first time
Back to back.
back to back from the same
Same
team?
trainer, same team.
Same trainer, same team. I don't know.
I don't
I don't
know,
know.
but I'm
Leave a comment down
actually
below.
pretty
I don't
confident on
know.
that too.
I'm
was
too
either-
lazy to Google.
It was either him or Jamal Murray, because I
Okay.
think Jamal Murray is in for a big year too.
Defensive Player of the Year. I'll go first. That way we have no
I feel like
accusations of
I feel like we might have
copycat.
the same person.
Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, really? Okay.
Toronto
Anthony
Raptors.
Davis. Anthony Davis.
That's not a bad pick. I think Anthony Davis now with DeMarcus Cousins leaving, like we don't even have him in our playoff picks. Like honestly, the
Pelicans are a
he-
sleeper.
yeah, they're a sleeper. They could show up and be like the 5th seed,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be surprised
I mean,
because
they have
Anthony
Randall
Davis
and Mirotic.
is a
Solid.
monster.
Mhm.
He's a monster. So, let's move on quickly to Coach of the Year.
I think we have the same one. Maybe. Brad
Three.
Stevens. Oh.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
gonna say 3-2-1.
Sorry.
It's okay,
sorry.
Brad Stevens. I know they already won 53 games, and now they're getting all their good players back. So like, you're like, oh well, Coach of the Year is all about the storyline. Guy with less doing more,
Mhm.
just what Brad Stevens did last year. But if they win like an absurd, like a really good amount of games, there's no question.
Mhm. I mean, it was either between him and Quinn Snyder for me, but I think the Celtics will have a better record because they're in the East, and I just think uh, Brad Stevens is just overall a better coach, not by far, but I think his team, like I said, is going to be better, and so he's going to win that award. So finally on to MVP.
Now I have the one guy I chose for MVP, but I think we should both go into a bit more depth of maybe a second or third option.
Yeah.
So my MVP, I have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Milwaukee is a solid team in the East. That helps. So they'll be higher in the standings.
Mhm.
He's clearly the best player on his team, which is very important. And honestly, they're a solid team. You look at them; they're a solid team. He's a really great player, and he's the Greek freak. Honestly, he's a great story, and I think he's got a chance.
I don't know what I'm doing with this Lakers team, Marco. I don't know.
No, don't do it.
I
No.
do. I have LeBron.
Oh my god!
And I know, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing
You're
with this Lakers team.
ridiculous.
Come on. LeBron, new city. If his team does well, I think people are going to notice it. They're going to give him one last MVP before he goes out in a couple years, or maybe a couple years, maybe 10 years down the line.
It is crazy that like LeBron. I know this isn't like his prime, but like he hasn't won an MVP in 4 or 5 seasons.
Mhm.
It's kind of crazy. But also, I guess expected because he hasn't truly been the best player
I just think that.
in a season for a while. Come on.
Are you serious right now?
Oh, what? What? So can I take the MVP away from Russ and give it to LeBron? Just 'cause he
I
didn't
know
have a
you were not going
triple-double?
to choose Russ second.
I don't know. I would say
I was going to joke about that. I was going to say I have Russell Westbrook, but I didn't.
no. I have Anthony Davis
That's
second
who I have too.
because I mean
Are
just
we going to go into third? Let's
sure.
do
Who's
three.
your third guy?
Third? Well, now that I think about it, Russell Westbrook. I'm joking. I'll probably. I'll give James Harden another chance. I think James Harden can do it again.
The third one is really tough. Like, I would say like, a James Harden pick would be
James Harden,
interesting.
Russ, Kawhi,
Potentially,
maybe.
it'll be tough for
Embiid.
anyone from the Warriors or Celtics to win it.
Yeah.
But if there is anyone with a chance, Kyrie could win it if he has a spectacular year.
Watch
and
out for
stays
Embiid
healthy.
if he's healthy.
Embiid could actually. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for Kawhi, of course,
Kawhi.
in Toronto. So now let's move on to our final little piece here. Just a general discussion about the NBA Finals. So who is your predicted matchup in the NBA Finals?
I feel like we're gonna agree on this too.
Yeah.
Celtics and Warriors.
Yep, Warriors Celtics. Pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Not
mean,
a whole lot
it's so
to
funny.
discuss here because
It's-
they're going to be so dominant, and we know how it's going to end. But this will be worth already knowing how it ends, just because of how great this probably should be a 7-game series
Mm-hmm.
will be.
It's so funny because everybody's like, I'm not gonna watch the NBA anymore. That's so
Oh, yeah, right.
predictable. I'm still gonna sit down and watch all 82 games again of the Thunder this year.
I'll watch
And-
as many Celtics games as possible, as many Warrior games as possible.
I won't
Rockets,
watch that.
Lakers. I will watch any
I'll watch the Nets. I'll watch the Hawks.
no,
That's
any
just
like top
torture.
10 team in the NBA. I'll probably watch.
You watch the Thunder?
Yeah, they're a top 10 team in the NBA easily.
I usually just go.
They're like
I
6
usually
or
just see
7.
who's playing. Yeah, I usually just see who's playing, and whatever game looks good, I click on and watch. Unless the Thunder are playing, because I can't miss it. I'm on a streak of 200 and some right now,
Jeez.
consecutive games watched, and that's
Ladies
gonna be
and gentlemen, that's dedication. That's the kind of dedication I would like to see from our.
football team in Nebraska.
I was gonna go with our Dudes Being Guys sports podcast audience, but that too.
yeah,
Or the MCJ Sports
MCJ
channel in
Sports,
general. Like and subscribe. Okay, let's get away from that. So, who do you have as the MVP of the NBA Finals?
the Snake, Kevin Durant,
3-peat.
and this might be it.
3 MVPs.
I'm not
in a
even
row.
like I don't think LeBron, Kevin Durant's coming back.
I
I
think you might be right. If he wins MVP again and wins another title, but if they lose, which I would say
Really?
I have Kyrie Irving as the MVP, leading the Celtics to a win over the Warriors. in a 7-game series. 19th
That would actually
title.
be a really fun finals. Now that I think about it, I really haven't. I just knew those were like the top 2 teams in the conferences, and I thought that would be like that. Just sounds right, and like, but now that I
17th
think about it,
title.
like looking
18th
like
title,
in my
actually.
mind, looking at the Celtics playing the Warriors, that's a fun matchup,
Yeah, it is.
and it could be pretty close.
That's how many All-Stars do you think that matchup produces? Because you can't count Boogie because he'll be injured a lot of the
Yeah.
year.
So 4,
So 4 from the Warriors,
2?
most likely.
Maybe.
I think there's
2 or
at
3.
least 3 from Boston.
I say Kyrie and
Kyrie, Gordon
Ka-
Hayward, Jason Tatum.
I have
At
Kyrie. I have
least.
Kyrie and Jason Tatum and possibly Al Horford. I don't think Gordon
Really?
Hayward will.
I don't know.
I
I
have
think
yet.
you
do
know.
you really
I
think
think
Gordon
that
Hayward's gonna be
you
as
could also
good?
potentially have a 5th. I think
Really?
Jaylen Brown.
Oh,
Good. Come on, Jaylen Brown is good.
on.
Jaylen Brown is good. I don't.
He's not
like
better
the
than
trash.
Brandon Ingram. So
What about Terry
no,
Rozier? Could he
No,
make the All-Star
no.
team? I'm joking. But honestly, you look around the East, like honestly,
I can name 10. I can name how many players on the All-Star team? 12.
there's 12, which is
12? I can name 12
again
players
very
better than Jaylen
unfortunate.
Brown.
If there's 15 roster spots in the East, I for sure take 5 Boston players. I take 5 Boston
I'm
players.
gonna use your word. Delusional.
I-
Jaylen Brown is not that good.
Okay, if there's 15
He's a
roster
system
spots in the
player.
East, I take 5 Celtics, I take 4 76ers, I take Kawhi, I take
Lowry.
Giannis.
You're not taking Lowry?
God no. Jaylen Brown is better than Kyle
Oh.
Lowry.
No.
Put it on a t-shirt.
No.
That is my declaration for the
I'm making a
week.
T-shirt and it's gonna be Brandon Ingram. It's
Anyway.
greater than Jaylen Brown.
All right. So you have the Warriors as champions. I have the Celtics as champions. Difference of opinion, but honestly, I think both of us can see it going either way
Yeah.
because they're both really good teams. So that is our 2018-19 NBA season preview. I'm Mark Yurkovich. Easton Nelson joined me. Thank you, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace out.